Hi everybody, it's Agnes Vivarelli, and today I've got Veronica Isles here.
Hi.
Hi Veronica. Yeah, thanks for coming on. A few of our mutual viewers suggested that we get together, and I thought it was a good idea there since you and I do the same sort of thing. So welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. I'm happy to be with you and talking with you. This is really exciting. I think it's a great idea.
It is. It is a good idea because we're like bookends, really.
Yes. So might as well collaborate. It'll be fun. It'll be fun for the viewers and fun for us. And
yeah, exactly. So I thought, because our viewers are so heavily interested in the topic of relationships and specifically the topic of getting an ex back or a specific person, that maybe together we can share the things that we see over and over again that people do wrong, that don't help their situation, and things that from you and I, because we both coach people, the things that we have implemented with them and the good results that they've got. So
and the things not to do. I think that's perfect.
Yeah. So do you want to open it up?
Well, I think that when you're trying to attract a specific person, I think that number one key, there's so many number one things to remember, but I think the one biggest mistake that people make is becoming sort of obsessed with that person and making that person sort of the focus of their entire life, and that definitely backfires.
Yeah.
It just, you can want a specific person and you can attract a specific person. I know a lot of like YouTube lectures, law of attraction people say it can't be done, that you can't attract a specific person, that it's just, you can attract everything else, but you can't attract a specific person. But I found that isn't true. But you cannot become obsessed. You have to maintain a balance. That is, at least in my opinion, is one of the first and foremost things to remember, because people tend to fall into that trap where suddenly everything is about this person, and it can't be, because if you were in a relationship with this person, you'd be living a life too. And you can't just make it all about that person, because if you did have a relationship where it was all about that person, then that relationship would definitely fail. No one wants to be in a relationship like that.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that making someone else trying to, because it obviously doesn't work, but trying to make someone else your source of love.
Yes, exactly. Source of happiness, source of, you can't be codependent. Codependent relationships never work, and you definitely can't attract from a codependent standpoint. It just... total backfire. You'll push them away.
And that's why they come on YouTube looking for answers.
So that is what the number one thing not to do.
I agree. I find too, it's which is tied into what you're saying, it's that real lack of self-love where they put the other person above themselves, and they keep thinking love is over there with the other person and love's over here with you. But that addictive kind of, it's over there. I got to get over there where it is. Yeah.
That's something that you have to provide it for yourself. And that's the only way someone else can love you. I mean, even apart from law of attraction type things, you do hear the thing that you can't be loved until you love yourself. I mean, that's sort of a universal teaching. And I think that is such an important thing to remember, because you can't wait to be happy. You can't put your life on hold. You can't say, well, my life will start when I'm with this person. You can't decide to feel love when you're with this person. You can't be miserable until you're with this person. You have to feel all the things that you want to feel with this person first from within, and then that person shows up, and they show up pretty fast and pretty easily. So much easier than people realize.
Yes. I agree. And the thing is, Veronica, I did a YouTube once where I said that you can't control, because people wanted a guarantee. If I do this, will you guarantee I can get that? It's like, no, I can't, because people have the ability to reject or accept what you want with them. Which, of course, if you were on the receiving end of someone wanting you and you didn't want to be with them, of course you would want the ability to say no.
I mean,
but the success rate and this is the bit that they sometimes don't hear.
Yeah.
Like you just said, if you do the work and you lay the foundation of self-love, I mean, I've said, and I can say, because I keep track of when I coach how many people actually start, but it's high. It's up there with like 80-85% of people getting good success. So I'm glad you mentioned that point.
Yeah. I mean, you can get success and you can get success fast. And I feel like people get too fixated on sort of that guarantee and sort of that, will it work? Will it work? Will it work? Instead of just doing it. Because life is going to get better. Everything in your life is going to get better, not just the relationship. And miracles will happen. I mean, they do, but you have to actually do it. You can't, look for testimonials of other people's stories that are similar yours and, sort of only think you can do it if someone else has done it. You can't rely on crutches is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You have to just from within decide that you want this result, and you have to do it in a healthy, balanced way. And then good things happen. I mean, if you're radiating that sort of love and that confidence and that independence and the ability to have a good time, that other person is going to be attracted to you because those are attractive qualities.
Yeah. And this is the thing I find too. It's not about physical attractiveness. Right. It's about emotional attractiveness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all attracted to energy first and foremost, because somebody could be the most beautiful, aesthetically beautiful person in the world, and you could not be attracted to them because it has to do with their energy and what they're putting out and how they're feeling, and it's that whole aura about someone that you're attracted to.
Yeah. Yeah. So agree with you. This is so good. You're my flock. I'm having a conversation with my flock today.
This is great. This is a great idea. I don't know who suggested it, but
I can't remember either. I was going to give them credit for it, so I hope when they watch it, they'll go, "It was me." There was 2 of them, I think. So
I feel like someone might have suggested it to me at one point too, but I cannot remember.
Yeah.
For the life of me.
Yeah, no, it's a great idea. I think it's so good, like bringing together because YouTubing is such a solo art form.
Right.
To be able to bounce things, I think, is something you can't do alone.
Definitely. It's sort of where we're sort of collaborating together, and then we've got that creative energy flowing, and we can give good advice and inspire others, and it's exciting.
It is. It's great. So when you get questions and repeat, because you do get repeat questions.
Oh, yeah. I like a ton of repeat questions.
Yeah. What would you think would be, what's that?
There's the core questions that I get asked, how long will this take?
Yeah.
That is always one of the biggest.
Yes.
It's something that really can't be answered because it's different for everyone.
It is.
It's different for the situation. I always tell the person the key is not to focus on the amount of time that it will take, but just allowing yourself to be so in love with the idea of your desire. You just love it so much, and you love the feeling of it, that it doesn't matter if it's actually in the physical, that it just brings you joy. You just want to feel that joy, and the time doesn't matter because it'll happen. It'll come to be at the right and perfect time, and just let it happen. You don't mess with it, you don't interfere with it, you don't try to plan it. That's when it happen fast. But it's something that people struggle with.
Yes.
More than anything is that time element.
Yeah.
Counting the time.
Yes.
If there's been a breakup, how long we've been apart, how long since we've talked, and the time.
Yeah. I do a lot of Neville Goddard stuff with the people I coach, and
it's wonderful.
It is, and Neville talks about that very thing. You can't be in the state of the problem, which is I haven't got them yet, the absence of the person, and then create having the person. You've got to be living from the end result, which is what you're talking about. And Abraham Hicks talks about that too.
Yep, pretty much everybody does. We all kind of say the same thing.
Yeah.
Just in different ways.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess with the fact that now it's 2017,
right,
it's putting all those old teachings into modern
Right, exactly, because they do talk in sort of old-fashioned ways. I love the way Neville talks, though. Like, I love his old lectures, and he talks about Barbados and just everything he does. I love hearing the sound of his voice.
Yeah, me too. He's definitely still my all-time favorite.
Mine too. He's
incredibly
inspiring and just fun to listen to, and
and he's actually. Well, I remember, like what you were saying, a lot of law of attraction people do not support you can manifest a specific person. And he manifested his specific person. So he kind of smashes all the molds of all those people, you know? Yeah.
I love that.
It's good. It's good. So in terms of, because that's kind of the handbrake, the time element, when's it going to... Yeah. What would you say are kind of the most valuable bits of information that really work for people for them to actually get their result?
You know, I feel like someone's going to get it when they're ready to get it. Like, I can talk to them. I can coach them till I'm blue in the face. And somebody's going to get it when they're ready. And I can only provide the information. I can only try to be a support system. I can only try to cheer them on. But, I mean, they have to do it from within, because there have been some people that I've coached who seem really down in the dumps, like as if they're just, pessimistic and negative, and then they end up getting the results. And I'm like, wow, this person, they seemed so far from what they were trying to achieve, but something inside of them just clicked at a certain point, and they made those interchanges. And I think that it's just, all you can do is just sort of try to tune into what a particular person needs. And I feel like everyone kind of needs something else. I don't think that any one client is the same as to this kind of support. But I can just sort of, remind them that attracting a specific person isn't so much about that person. It's more about you. I think they usually look for outer things that they can do, like, how do I get this person's attention, or how do I construct this, or should I have my sister contact them, or invent stories, or plant this, or do I make them jealous, or do I do this? And it's not about any of that stuff. It's about working from within. And I think that's the one thing that people just don't get. It happens within first.
Yeah.
And then it's reflected in the outside. But the changes have to happen from within, and you have to feel yourself worthy of a relationship. You have to feel yourself having the ability to have a relationship. You have to be able to grant yourself those feelings from within. If you don't feel like you can have a relationship, then how can you attract any person, let alone this specific person? You can't. You're not gonna. You have to believe that you deserve this, that this fits into your life. You have to do things that sort of support this end result. So I think that that's important to remember.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
And I think it is so when people first come to YouTube to look for answers, they're looking for, how do I get my specific person? And that still is about getting. It's still about, how do I get them to do something for me, which is love me, because I don't obviously feel it. I want them to do it so I can feel better. But like you just said, if you don't feel loved inside, if you haven't worked on the inside, you're not going to get the photocopy of that on the outside. It's not going to happen.
No way. It just won't.
No.
It never works. You can't have that first.
No.
You have to feel it within first. You have to present a foundation in your life that will support the thing that you're seeking. You have the thing first and then make the changes. Just backwards. But I understand where it's a hard concept for people to understand, especially people that are new to these sorts of, this way of thinking. Because in society, we don't, you don't generally, it's usually the other way around. So, I can understand.
Yeah. And we don't get taught this at school.
No.
It would have been valuable information.
Yeah. It would have been right. I didn't learn about this till I was an adult.
Yeah.
I didn't ever do anything about this. No one did this.
Yeah. Actually, on that note, what started you off like firstly coaching and then heading in this direction? What started you off?
I just was looking for answers in my life. I wanted to know why the things that were happening, why these things were happening to me. I had a string of really bad relationships. I was in an abusive relationship, and I was curious why all these guys who were seemingly different were all saying the same thing, and why these same issues were coming up over and over again with completely different people. And like different situations, yet the same core issues were coming up. And I wanted answers. I wanted to know why bad things would happen in my life, but good things would happen too. You know, what was going on? I discovered, I'm not even sure who I discovered first, but I think I discovered actually The Secret video or something like that. And it made sense. I mean, I know The Secret is very basic, and it's very simplistic, but it's easy for someone to grasp onto that's never heard of any of. So it's a good like starting point. And then I, you know, sort of delved into the more intricate teachings. But but I mean, you have to start from somewhere, and then once you know this, it's like you can never unknow it again. You know? You can never go back to the old way of being naive and the old way of thinking where your thoughts don't mean anything.
Yeah, for sure. And my story is the same as yours. Same string. I had 5 relationships. Every single one, they were saying the same thing. See you later. I've got somebody else. And it was like, what? Again? And then you can't go, oh, well, I picked the wrong guy again. You know, like.
After it happens so many times, like, something's not right here.
And at that time, because this was, I think in the 90s in the 90s, when I was coming out of my marriage ended then, and my husband actually left. Well, he had an affair with, because he was a musician, he had an affair with a woman that he had contact with as a groupie, which is such the classic cliche. And then, I remember thinking, okay, like you, when I was learning about this, there was no YouTube. And I was basically going to the bookshop and looking for books.
That's how I used to do it. That was the source of information.
That was the source of information, and thank God those books existed. But I remember thinking, okay, I've got to learn what I'm doing wrong, because I was doing obviously something very wrong. And it was, I'm not good enough, I'm second best. And there they were, the beliefs that were underpinning what I was doing. But I remember reading from Neville, which was the first time I'd ever heard this, and this was a life changer for me. Everyone is you pushed out. So that whole concept of whatever you get out there, it's coming from the contents of your consciousness, and it gets projected out. And people just act it out. So that's why, like what you were saying, you kept getting the same guy, different guys saying the same thing, and I kept getting the same thing as well. So it's like, you know. And the thing is, the belief work is the core foundation of changing this stuff, changing your beliefs. And I think, you know, what do you, because I do a certain amount of belief work with people, because they have to change those beliefs about themselves. But that is a question I get repeatedly. I know I have to change my beliefs, but how do I do that? So I
try to tell people to work in small steps, you know, taking baby steps towards these beliefs, because it has to start somewhere. You can't change overnight. You know, you can't with these deep-seated beliefs and these deep-seated habits that have been happening for so many years. When you have these poor, you know, images of yourself, you have to start somewhere, breaking off in the other direction. And it doesn't happen overnight. You have to take slow steps. You have to just sort of be patient with yourself. You have to just work a little bit at a time, and don't get frustrated with yourself. Be proud of yourself for even taking the steps towards change. You know, I try to say, you know, be your own inner cheerleader. Don't put yourself down. Just keep moving forward, because if you do a little bit, it's going to turn into a little bit more and a little bit more, and you just have to keep pushing at it, and you have to just keep being determined to change these things in your life, and they can change.
Yes.
But it's just starting off with a little bit at a time. Just not pressuring yourself to change completely overnight, because it's impossible.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah, and it's mentally exhausting trying to do it. Just doesn't. Yeah. I remember when it was after God knows which relationship, laying on the bed crying, and I thought, right, I have got to learn how to really do this self-love. And I was going to a coach myself at the time, because I thought I'm here I am, doing a coaching course, because that's when I was learning.
Yeah.
And I thought, I haven't even got my own thing together at all here. So I was going, and I remember distinctly doing a session with my coach, and he said to me, look, you're not going from you being single or wanting a specific person to being with them. You're going from you feeling unloved and unwanted and second best to feeling first best, loved and wanted. And that moment was really profoundly changing for me, because I went on to do hours of meditation where I would, at any time I felt unloved, I'd lay on my bed and I'd go, right, I'm going to do a self-love meditation, and I will start to build that and do that for myself. And, I still use that today, not because I feel unloved all the time, but because it's daily maintenance for me. And I don't want to put that onto my partner. It's my job.
It's good to remember these things, even when you do manifest the relationship, even when you are in a good place, to not sort of ditch, all of these beliefs, these sort of, you obviously don't have to, it becomes like more like second nature, like a rhythm, but you can't just suddenly let your thoughts run amok and just start feeling bad during the day. You have to keep loving yourself and keep providing, keep being as independent as possible in your feelings. Don't expect those feelings to come from somewhere else, because these issues can turn up in any area of your life, not even just a relationship. They can pop up pretty much anywhere. And so you want to keep, at your core, you want to keep moving ahead in a positive way. So even when you feel like you've got it, you want to still obviously maintain it.
Yeah. Have you got like a daily, like things that you do for yourself?
Not right now.
Okay.
I just sort of go with whatever feels good.
Yeah.
I don't want to neglect anything, but I don't really have a routine. Like I used to visualize a certain amount of time every day and take, quiet time for like meditative. But now I just sort of, I guess I'm so busy that maintain a schedule. Schedule's sort of all over the place.
Yes.
So it's hard.
Especially when you're working with people in different time zones.
Yes, that's the biggest We're all over the world, and you sort of have to accommodate, I have, clients in Australia, but then I also have clients in California, time, that time zone, that one over there, London.
Yeah.
All the different Hong Kong, all the different time zones.
I know.
Juggle that is interesting.
It's the wonderful part of our freedom, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. It's fun. It's fun to be able to inspire people, especially when you've helped someone and you see that you've made a change in someone's life. I think that's the most rewarding part of doing this.
Yes, it is. And you get a success story, and they're so excited to write you and tell you, and you think, wow, it doesn't get better than that, does it?
No, I know. It's wonderful. I mean, I get so many more that I can actually share, which is sort of, it's a little frustrating, but what are you going to do? I mean, obviously, not everybody wants their personal information on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
And we have to obviously maintain that level of confidentiality. It's what we do. We don't, unless someone specifically says.
Yes. Exactly.
But I mean, I get success stories a lot. I mean, a lot. It really does.
It does. And we had a mutual viewer that sent
us, I know.
which is wonderful, because they're helping. They're helping.
No, I know. It's great too, because obviously we have different viewers. We have a similar audience, but we don't have the same exact viewers. So it's good to reach as many people as possible.
Yeah.
I think that if you can inspire someone, if you can, sort of turn them on to a new way of thinking where life isn't sort of just coming at you, you are shaping your world, you are creating your world, you are living in that sort of creative energy where anything is possible. Such a wonderful way of being. I mean, it's so much more exciting. You don't feel limited anymore.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Huh.
It is such a look. I still get up in the morning and I think I still go, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm moving because I move around between Sydney, where is technically my home, London, where my partner is, and south of France, where my family is.
Oh, well.
And I think, I don't have a base really. I just literally move around. And I mean, that's the bonus of what we do. Yeah. It's allowed me to be more free and more creative.
And those are wonderful places to bounce around to.
Yeah.
Those are great places.
Yeah. You're in Chicago?
I am in Chicago.
Yeah.
It's actually warm right now. We've got some unseasonably warm weather.
Oh, half your luck. We had snow here the other day. I nearly freaked out because I'm in London. I thought, I got to get out of here. I'm going back to Sydney. I gotta go.
We actually don't have any snow, believe it or not, which is pretty awesome.
That's unusual. Yeah.
I'll take it because the snow will come. So.
It will. It will. Yeah. So, Veronica, do you stay based in one spot all the time?
Yeah, pretty much. This is I was born and raised here, like 5th generation here. So.
Okay.
I have lived in many different places though, but I ended up coming back to Chicago. So it's it's a city I love. So travel, but for living purposes, this is pretty much it.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. I mean, how long ago did you start doing the work you do?
It's sort of hazy because I used to help people actually out for free, just sort of giving advice. And then it sort of snowballed into, wait, I think I've got a weird light coming in. Can you still see me? Okay?
I can, the light, you got sun up to here.
The sun is radiated here. But I started kind of just doing this as a hobby. Like I sort of figured a lot of things out for myself. So I sort of wanted to just help other people, because I saw in my journey, I would go through message boards and stuff and I would see what people were doing wrong. And I would see how things were working in my life. I'd be like, I want to share this information with you. And so I started out just sort of sharing the information, and then it just sort of snowballed into sort of a business. And then I started with the YouTube videos. So it was a really weird progression over about a decade. And it's just sort of been, climbing from there. But I mean, it's sort of interesting how it all sort of came together. It wasn't something that I intended upon it to help people. Yes, but I mean, it's interesting.
Yeah. It kind of finds you. Like I look back and my thing was I wanted to start. I started a YouTube. I did about 6 YouTubes because it was part of my course. It was a requirement to either do something in writing or do YouTubes. And I thought, I don't feel like writing. So I had a crack at doing some YouTubes sharing manifesting stories, because when I was in had a bad time in my life, I read The Law and the Promise from Neville Goddard, which was like little stories. Yeah. And I remember thinking, wow, these are just ordinary people. One day I'm going to write my own success stories. And, I compiled 2 books of 30 success stories, but I thought, hang on, not everybody reads. Sometimes people like to listen. So the channel started off as me reading some of the stories audio. Oh, cool. And so that's where it started. But like you say, then it kind of takes a left turn and it turns into, a whole bunch of other stuff because the viewers ask us questions and then we attempt to answer them. And
I do Q&A videos a lot because I do get asked a lot of questions. It is interesting because sometimes there are questions I wouldn't necessarily have thought of to answer.
Yes, exactly.
So I might as well just take any question that sort of comes up and to the best of my ability, and it helps people. And I hope that my videos can help people and inspire people and just help make their lives better. I think a lot of times what people don't get from this idea of self-love is they think it's almost like a trick for them to move away from their desire, like to no longer be interested in their desire. Like they think it's some sort of like trick, like they don't want to be happy from within because then they'll no longer be concerned with, you know, this person they want to attract, and I'm sort of tricking them to move away from it. It's the other way around. When you start this self-love and you start making your life about you, then that person, you know, just sort of automatically like gravitates towards you as opposed to pushing them away. And I think that people just, they don't get that. They're not moving on from their desire or any desire. It doesn't even have to be about a person, but they're actually into this space where they can actually have the desire happen. But until into that space, it actually can't happen.
Exactly.
Well, that's the
I'm glad you said that, because
they don't get. They think I'm trying to trick them.
Yes.
Move on. It's a trick. You're trying to get me to move on. No, I'm not.
I'm not. Yeah, I get that a lot. Where, well, I get a lot of people say, "Oh, I just did your specific person meditations. I did all that. I finally got my ex back," and then they went again. It's like, you kept talking about self-love, but I didn't get it. It's like, and then they've come back for the second round because they've lost their partner again. So we're not trying to trick you guys. Veronica and I are not trying to trick you guys. We're just going off personal experience.
Everything you need to know to be successful. Like, if you follow, it's so simple. The manifesting process is so simple. It's so basic. Think of time too basic for people to really, you know, they think it's got to be more complicated. They got to they've got to do more exercises and more specific things they've got to do in a specific order, specific amount of time. No, not.
That's so true. I always get, I've done this, this, and this. What else can I do? Nothing. Rinse, repeat. Same thing again.
Just relax.
Yeah, just relax. Yes,
because when you've succeeded on something, you feel this like baggage lifted off of you. This like all this weight is gone because you're just, you can relax. You did it. You know, you accomplished it. You got the goal. I think people don't allow themselves to feel that relaxed state. They don't allow themselves to get to that point because, again, they think that if they feel relaxed like that, then they'll forget. Or the universe will forget. And like they have to be sort of in this weird asking state 24/7. So asking, you can't receive.
Exactly. And you don't need to be an action figure all the time. You just got to be like, I mean, Abraham Hicks says it a million times, the art of allowing, the art of allowing. I mean, she says that all the time, and it's like, but what else can I do? It's like, you missed the whole thing. It's relax, like you say.
Take it easy.
Be at peace. Choose
Enjoy
that.
Conversation with a friend. Just easy, you know. Go outside and watch some birds, you know. Do something that just puts you in connection with life and this wonderful ability to live and to enjoy the things around you in this moment. Smile at the beauty of life and the ability to live it and create it and do experiences and have a wonderful imagination and just live out your dreams and live out, just sort of, you know, just have fun with what comes your way. And that's how you get the experiences you want to have. They happen so seamlessly, so easy. So, you know, if you just allow them to come to you, you're not seeking them out or waiting for them, you just allow it to happen.
That is so cool. Just the whole relax component is so underused.
And people don't really watch those videos.
No, and yet it's like the law of attraction operates with that component so strongly. You and I know that. And the thing is, it works off emotional stability, emotional balance, emotional peace. If you're kind of on that addict sort of, you know, your eyes are darting around, what can I do next? What can I do next? You don't get from that place. It doesn't come from urgency. You cannot get stuff when you're urgent.
No. It can happen fast. Like you can, you know, you can manifest the money you need. You can manifest the relationship, the health. Like you can get these things fast, but you can't be in that crazy state of mind where you need it now, right now. You can't, you know, you have to find that balance, and then things just flow to you. They're just
you know, it's so good. You're talking my language.
I know it's hard to find people, especially in real life. Like, just people in your daily life. No one's speaking my language in my daily life.
No. Have you got many friends that do the stuff that you do? Neither do I.
I don't have any. I have maybe one that sort of gets it.
Yeah. I've got one. I've tried to,
but some of them are like, that's not for me.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I've got one friend. She's 72.
Oh.
And I met her 25 years ago, and she bought me my first Law of Attraction book.
That's cool.
And it was Florence Scovel Shinn, the collection where she's got Your Word is Your Wand, and it was like a collection of books. Yeah. And then she bought me Neville Goddard's The Law and the Promise.
Wonderful.
And even whether I'm in London, she's in Sydney, but we do questions together as often as we can, usually about 4 or 5 times a week. What do you want? What do you appreciate? What do you want? And what makes you think you're going to get it? And we answer these questions to each other. But she is the one that I've done everything with for this period of time. And we still, like you say, when you start something, continue the practice. And it is still such an enjoyable conversation.
Yeah, definitely. You have to keep up with things like that, because those are the things that work.
It works, and we have such a history of helping, because she's my eyes when I'm struggling with how to manifest, and I'm her eyes. So we break things down for each other. It's fantastic.
It's great when you can be a support system for someone. It's really wonderful.
Yeah.
But it's interesting how many people are just sort of oblivious to this sorts of concepts. And I think it's growing in popularity.
I do too.
Slowly.
Yeah, slowly. Yeah, it's that thing, like you say, your friend saying, "Oh, that's not for me." It's like I don't even bring it up with some friends, and now, and I don't do any suggestions. I just go, "Oh, you're smart." They tell you a problem, and you're thinking, "Okay, she could do this, this, and this," and now I just say, "You're smart. You'll work it out." So I don't even say anything anymore.
Yeah. Because, again, people are going to grasp this when they want. They'll, be turned on to these ideas when they discover it for themselves. You can be an example. Like, you can live your life as an example, but, you have to figure it out when they're ready, and that's all you can do.
Yeah, we came to it through the same experience over and over and getting pain. So, That's how it is, isn't it?
It's good about YouTube, though, how people can, because before YouTube, you couldn't just, there's so much more information is so more readily available than it used to be. So we live in a good time in that if someone wants to research something, they can find people talking about this, experiences, free books. Like there's lots of Neville Goddard's books you can get for free, on the internet. You can just read free PDFs. Like so many of these things are just readily available.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
And you do a lot of stuff for free too.
I try to. I answer as many questions as I can, like by email, short questions, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And also I raffle away like phone calls and things like that. Every Friday I give away books. Sort of thing. So I try to do as much as I possibly can. Obviously, I'm also have to earn an income.
Yeah, exactly. I think people have mentioned your you do a course, I think a 20-something day course.
I do the 25-day challenge. That's the videos are all readily available on YouTube. There's a companion book which is sold on Amazon, but
and what's the subject, Veronica, for that one?
Getting your ex back, basically.
Okay, great.
Sort of. For some reason, my audience has always gravitated towards the ex market as opposed to a specific person. But I think it kind of goes the same way because an ex kind of is a specific person.
Yeah.
So, but that's always been sort of my my specific area. The sort of in 25 days where you're suddenly focusing on living life again. You're reclaiming your happiness. And reclaiming your happiness is the first step into healing this relationship that has gone wrong.
Yeah.
Getting back in touch with what it feels like to feel good again. Because after a relationship goes wrong, you're usually in a state of chaos. You're in a state of just inner turmoil. So it's reclaiming your inner vulnerability, and that is the way that then you can heal this relationship. But I do have 25 videos.
Actually, I'm going to put that on as a link down in the bottom. So
awesome.
If you want to go do it. Yeah.
There's a playlist, so you can watch all 25 back to back if you want.
Right. Yeah, because I think, that's what people need, and that's what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
So I think, so they don't have to go looking for it. We'll put the direct link.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So what else do you want to say? Like, has anything come to mind that we haven't?
Trying to think. I feel like we've hit a lot of.
I know we have.
We could probably do this again in the future. Maybe like answer people's questions, and maybe we both could answer people's questions, because we both.
That would be unreal.
Obviously, we sort of have the same type of advice, but we're going to say it in different ways.
Yes.
I think that it helps.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you can actually, with what we're doing today, we could invite. We can invite another 2 people, and we could do some questions live. Yeah.
I didn't even realize you could do that.
Yeah. Well, I do live Q&As 3 times a month for free, and I get about 40 people up on the screen.
Oh wow!
And they can put their little hand up so I can see they want to ask a question. Yeah. So it works really well as long as you and I set up a mutual time. Yeah. That could be something that. We could definitely do together, and I'm sure the viewers would love that. Yeah,
it's always good to collaborate, and the more, the more good energy that we can sort of cultivate between us, the more we can inspire others and help people to change their lives around. This video could be a catalyst for someone, the way that light bulb goes off in their head and they just get it.
Yeah,
so that's one of the most exciting parts of doing this.
For sure. Well, okay, so we'll set a earmark for 2018 once all the end of the year and new year, and our viewers can just know that we will be doing
I'll be posting this on my channel too, and some links to you. So hopefully it'll create some good buzz and a lot of excitement and good things for the new year.
Sounds good. Thank you, Veronica. It's so good to meet you live, and just it's just so good. I just love talking to people that do what I do, like you do, because there's so few of us that actually get to meet up.
It's true.
Fantastic. I feel like I'm just looking and hearing all the stuff that I say in slightly different words.
It's great. It's wonderful. You can feel that energy, even though we're in completely different places.
I know.
Geographically, I can feel that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's brilliant. Well, we can sign off, and then I'll keep you. I'll just, if you don't mind, we'll hang and have just a chat on our own.
Perfect.
And we'll say goodbye to everybody. And thank you. I've so enjoyed this. It's wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye, everybody, and bye, Veronica. See you behind the scenes.
Yes.